Can we start from the beginning? Can you tell us what happened
Well,
that night?
that night, well, the customer came over since the beginning. He was, I tell you the short story, okay? He was a very rude customer since the beginning, of course. And then when actually I refused serving him, he got really mad. And that's where it started.
How long had he been in the bar before you refused to serve him? I mean, was he already drunk when he got there? Or?
Not really. No, not really. I would say at about 1 hour and a half, the most, when he attacked me.
Was this a patron that you saw regularly, or was it his first time?
No, that was actually the first time, but after the incident, I found out that he's been a customer for 5 years.
Did you know he was a police officer?
Not at that time.
When did you know? When did you find out?
Well, afterwards, after I called the owners, you know, what happened, they have told me that he's a police officer.
What caused this rage in this police officer? Because we've heard conflicting stories that he wanted more alcohol and you decided that you wouldn't serve him anymore. What actually, can you tell us that much? What actually happened?
Well, you know, after the first round, he didn't have money, and he wanted to actually pay with a credit card, and then I told him that we only take cash, we don't take any credit cards. And then, you know, after that, we just realized that he doesn't have money. He ordered another round, but he didn't have money to pay for it, so another actually customer paid for that round. And then after that, the drinks, actually what he drank, people bought for him. He bought only the first
And then
round.
what happened? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Then what happened?
Well, actually, you know, it happened so fast that I can't tell exactly what happened, why he got behind the bar, but I know that he was very mad at me. I tried to get away from him, and then when I was going on the right side of the bar, he was actually following me on the other side. When I was going on the other side, he was following me again. And when I walked on the other side, I did not know that he was actually going behind the bar the second time. I did not realize that. I just did not understand that.
Well, how many other patrons were in the bar at this time?
What do you mean?
Patrons, customers.
Yes, but
How
Were
many
there
other
customers?
people?
yeah, yes, they
About
were.
how many?
Except Tony and maybe 3 more.
And they were guys, right?
Right.
Yes.
Were they friends of the police officers?
I do have. I don't really know. I know that the one guy that they call him on the newspaper, they call him a cell phone guy.
Yeah.
I know that they knew each other.
Because what I'm trying to find out is why didn't anybody else intervene? Well, this guy was apparently beating on you. Why didn't the other patrons at least try to assist? We've been trying to discuss that, or actually we tried to discuss that earlier this morning, but we weren't really successful in terms of finding out the reason why no one really helped you.
Well, I believe that was actually too short time. I know that one person, actually the first guy who got behind the bar after, into the fight, you can say that this actually this person was in the washroom. When he got out from the washroom, that's when he noticed that Tony was already beating me up.
Now, who is Tony? The police officer?
Yes, the police officer.
What would you like to see happen to the police officer?
At this time, I don't really want to say anything about him. You know, my opinions, they wouldn't be good because, you know, that's what happened, and I don't really want to say anything bad about him right now.
I can only imagine still the distress that you feel physically from this, and also the distress you feel emotionally. Have you talked to anybody? Are you seeking help from that? Because I know what it's like to get beaten by a man. So, and I know that emotionally that must be extremely traumatizing, and then to have to keep reliving it over and over as you try to seek some justice. Are you getting help for yourself?
Well, I've been trying to myself that I don't need help, but admitting to everybody, I do need somebody to actually talk about that.
Yeah.
I've been talking to actually one friend. She's been very helpful, but I don't think that's enough. She is not a professional, she's a good friend, but she's not a professional.
Right.
What about this allegation of someone offered you hush money to keep everything quiet?
Well, it wasn't actually like offering right away money. It was offering me money to pay for the hospital bills, and Tony came over and apologized publicly, and then
This was before the charges, or was this after the charges? Tony, the police
well,
officer.
after I gave the report to the police officer, they came over and actually they asked me. I mean, he asked me if I could possibly do that, and I said no right away.
And just not say anything about it.
Are we seeking civil compensation for this? This is going to be like a personal injury suit as well, or is strictly criminal? Can we talk about
See, I was
that?
going to say that's a lawyer question.
Okay,
Yeah.
there will be a lawsuit filed.
Both criminally and civilly.
Well, obviously the criminal charges have been filed as
Sure.
far as an aggravated battery. As you are aware, there is an ongoing investigation being conducted by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, who's been wonderful at this point, regarding the possibility of other charges in the nature of intimidation, and that sort of thing. So right now, at a minimum, we have is an aggravated battery charge, which, as you realize, was upgraded by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. Originally, as has been indicated in the press, this officer was arrested and charged by the police department simply with a battery, a misdemeanor.
Sure.
And that is outrageous because it appears that the police department acted unilaterally. They did not consult with the state's attorney's office in charging one of their own. They didn't even handcuff him. And to add insult to injury, when he is brought down to the station on the original charge, the police department, of course dealing with one of its own, gives this officer an individual recognizance bond and puts him back on the street.
Wow.
And does not notify Karolina that this thug, for lack of a better word, is back on the street. And of course that put her in great danger as far as we're concerned.
What about him going to rehab? Because I was really surprised that it took a month for this really to hit the press and what happened and for the video to be released. Do you think that was just kind of a move on his part to show or get some kind of sympathy because he did seek help?
Well, obviously the timing is suspect.
Sure.
And as a defense attorney, I can tell you that that's exactly what I would have recommended to
Right.
at least try to create the impression that he's dealing with this problem and he wants to put this behind him, and he's taken the first step, which is to admit that he's got a problem and move on. But certainly the timing is very, very suspect.
You've been in this country now for
4 years.
4 years.
Oh, wow.
All right. Okay, you guys keep us updated regarding this matter.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us today.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah,
okay?
we do. We appreciate it. We know how brave you have to be to come up here and share your story.
Thanks so much for coming by.